Hello and welcome to A Quest for Metal. Today we are doing my top 10 Dream Theater songs of all time. I've created a poll and I put a couple of my favourite bands on, and it's such a close tie between this and Blind Guardian. They kept just one-upping each other. It was like 1% between them like yesterday, and it just kept getting 1% above and above. So I'm going to do both. Not in this video because I'm not a madman, but I'm going to do a Dream Theater video and then I'm going to do a Blind Guardian video at another time. That'll be my next one. But today we're talking about Dream Theater, and this was a kind of hard, kind of easy one, because I know my top three, that's easy, but the rest is so hard, because there's a lot of honourable mentions which people will crucify me for not having on the list, but I guess we should just get them out of the way. So, honourable mentions, the main one, Count of Tuscany, I almost had it at number 10. I almost got it on the list, but then just listening to the one that I do have at number 10, there's just a part in it which just overtakes anything in Count of Tuscany. And you'll know in a second when I get to that, but Count of Tuscany is still my 11, and it's still one of the best Dream Theater songs of all time. It's fantastic. Again, another long one, because I like the long ones, but it didn't make the list. Illumination Theory, best song on the self-titled album, easily the best song on it. One of the best songs of all time. It's fantastic, but again, it didn't quite make the cut, so it's probably my number 12. Again, a couple of other honourable mentions, which are also amazing. These are all amazing songs, by the way. Ministry of Lost Souls, couldn't quite get it on, but it is a 10 out of 10, because I love like almost all Dream Theater songs, aside from Prophets of War. That's like the worst song I've ever heard. No, it's not the worst song I've ever heard, but it's the worst Dream Theater song. Like, by a long shot, it's the worst Dream Theater song. And you can argue in the comments, but I hate that song. It's terrible. But when I was talking about shit songs, we're talking about good songs, and Ministry of Lost Souls is amazing. And also Peruvian Skies. I couldn't quite get that on the list, but that is just such high intensity and such like a headbangable song. When it kicks in, the doom, 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 doom. It's not the riff at all, but it's a great song. So, alright, let's start with my number 10, and what kicked off Count of Tuscany, and that is from Awake, which is one of the best Dream Theater albums, and it is the song Voices. I love this song, and the part I was talking about in the middle, which kicked it off, was the solo. The solo in this song is probably my favourite Dream Theater solo of all time. It's probably the best solo of all time. I'm going to go ahead on record and say it's the best solo of all time. This song is just a masterpiece off a masterpiece album. Just the build-up of everything. Getting to that song. It's like a 9-minute song. And the solo occurs at like the 7-minute mark. Something like that. So it's just building up. And then it hits the solo. And your mind's just gone. It's gone. It's in another plane of existence because the solo is that good. The solo's so good that it's making it onto my list just purely for that solo. I mean, the rest of the song's amazing as well. But that solo, man. Just the build-up makes it even better. So, my number 10 is 100% Voices. One of the best songs off Awake. I'm not going to say the best song, because another song might appear in a second. Spoiler. So, that's my number 10. Number 9, we have Take the Time. And it is a classic of Images and Words, which is my favourite album of all time. Well, favourite Dream Theater album of all time. It has so many classics on, which you might see more from in a second, but Take the Time is one of the best. I just love the chorus. It just sticks in your head constantly. It's just inspirational lyrics as well. Have all you need in your mind if you take the time. It's just amazing. The chorus is amazing. The ending is amazing. Again, the guitar work is fantastic. Vocals are fantastic. People don't like the vocals from Images and Words. They think I guess it's not as refined as the newer stuff, but I like it. I like how just raw it is, how much better it was than When Dreams and Day Unite. So for that, I love it. But Take the Time, definitely a classic, definitely deserves to be on my list. Now, number 8, we're going back to Awake, and this is the best song on Awake, in my opinion. And it is a ballad. And that's like, what? Why is there a ballad on your top 10? But hear me out, it's the best ballad they've ever done. And it's just so heartbreaking. Space Divest, it's the song, it closes the album. It is just magical. Just, like, I hate spoken word parts in songs, usually. It takes me out the song. But this one, it just melds so well with the music when he's talking, and it's like, he doesn't know what love is. And he's just talking about that, and it's just stuck in my head. I love the song, it's emotional, it's beautiful. It deserves to be on everyone's top 10 list, in my opinion. It's easily the best ballad they've ever done. Hands down. I mean, a couple of other good ones, Wait for Sleep's nice. Another Day's amazing, but Space Divest, man. It has to be Space Divest. And the keyboard in it? The keyboard? Absolutely just out of this world. Amazing song, amazing send-off. And just an amazing album overall. So I love the Awake album. So Space Divest is the best on it, and it deserves number 8. Now, number 7, we're going to Train of Thought. And we're going to the heaviest song which Dream Theater have ever done. Which, you know what it is? Take me as I am. How can you not headbang to that riff? It's just the best opening ever. It's like one of the heaviest songs they've ever done. It's kind of like Proving Skies, that middle part of Proving Skies, but the whole song. So it's just fantastic. It's amazing live as well. I saw them live, and my neck was just dead at the end of it, because it's so fun. This is another classic. It has to be on the list because it's just so much fun. It's a fun song, it's energetic, it makes you just want to spaz around, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So it deserves number 7. Now, number 6, we have a song from not a popular album, actually. Not a very popular album, but I love this song. Like, I really do. And it's from Falling Into Infinity, and it is Trial of Tears. A great, amazing long song. I think it's like 12 minutes long, maybe 11, something like that. For a long time, I hated this song. Like, this entire album, actually, I didn't like for a while. But a lot of it has grown on me. Like, Lions and Sand's grown on me. And then this one has grown from me kind of being like, to one of my favourite songs of all time. And, like, the reason I was kind of on the fence about it was the chorus. I thought it was a bit cheesy, a bit kind of pop, because it talked about New York City, and it just sounded too happy, but then it started to grow on me and grow on me and grow on me, and it's become one of my favourites, and I love the chorus now. I love it because it just sounds so much different to any of the other songs they've ever done. It's kind of more upbeat and nicer sounding, and it just works so well, and it is one of the best long songs by Dream Theater. I mean, Count of Tuscany is amazing as well. I really wish I had Count of Tuscany on this list as well, but I couldn't quite make it. But yeah, Trial of Tears really shot up my list, really went from like to one of the best. So it definitely deserves a space on my list. Now onto the top 5. Coming in at number 5, we have Nightmare to Remember. It doesn't sound anything like what he sings like it on the song. Sounds more like James Hetfield doing a Dream Theater impersonation. Yeah! But this song is fantastic. This song is just amazing. It's one of the best songs on the album, Black Clouds and Silver Lining, which is already a fantastic album. But this is my favourite song on the album. The whole story of everything, like the car crash, it just takes you on like a sonic journey, and you like feel like you're going through it with them because the music's so intense. And when it hits the car crash part, and then afterwards when it's kind of slower and he's in like the intensive care ward or wherever he is, wondering if everyone else in the car is still alive. The story is just amazing. The music, it's Dream Theater, so the music is amazing. I don't need to say that. I love the story in this one. I just love it. It takes on a journey, kind of like Finally Free, which is another honourable mention. There's too many good Dream Theater songs. What's going on? But Nightmare to Remember is definitely one of the best story-driven songs in the history, I think. Which is why Nightmare to Remember is my number 5. Now, back to Images and Words for number 4, and we have one of the classics. It's not Pull Me Under. It's Metropolis Part 1. This is like one of the first songs I heard by Dream Theater. This and Under a Glass Moon, and I fell in love with them. Just because of the weird, like, middle section. There's, like, Super Mario kind of sounds in the middle of it. It's like, do, and then it goes into another weird guitar part. It blew my mind. I was like, I didn't know guitars could do that. this was all like new to me, and it got me into progressive music. So for that, I mean, Metropolis has to be high on my list, and it also inspired like Metropolis Part 2, Scenes from Memory, which is one of the best albums of all time. So it has to be on the list. The solos are fantastic in it. Just that middle part where he's going mental, like the keyboard's going mental, the guitars are going mental. Petrucci just owns everything in it. It's a fantastic song, and it's one of the best Dream Theater songs of all time, which is why it's number 4. Number 3, and again, from Images and Words, I might be biased because it's my favourite album, but it's my list, so. This is the best song on the album, in my opinion. And it's not Under a Glass Moon. It's not Take the Time, because I already went through that. Not Pull Me Under. What is it? It is Learning to Live. It's my number 3 song of all time. This, again, like Trial of Tears, took a long time to get into my bloodstream, I guess. Because those ones are like instantly recognisable, and then you instantly like, oh, Pull Me Under, that's nice. But this one, it takes its time. And it just settles, and it settles really nicely. Learning to Live is just one of the best long songs Dream Theater have ever done, aside from 2, which I might get to in a second. But yeah, Learning to Live is just a fantastic closer to the album. Fantastic song overall, one of the best songs Dream Theater have ever done. I can't say too much about it. It's just a fantastic song, and if you don't like it at the moment, if you're kind of on the fence, listen to it another 100 times, and then it'll sink in. Then you'll get used to it. So that's why Learning to Live is my number 3. Now onto the big 2. What's going to be 2? What's going to be 1? Now, as soon as I say number 2, you're going to know what number 1 is. And that's spoiler. That's like a big spoiler. And if these 2 songs aren't on anyone's top 10 list, what's going on? What are you doing? So, number 2 is Octavarium. I think, is it the longest song they've ever done? I think it's the longest song they've ever done. But it's like 25 minutes or something like that. But it is a masterpiece. It is a masterpiece, 10 out of 10 song. Takes you on a journey through sonic landscapes, kind of like Trial of Tears and Nightmare to Remember, but on another level. It's on another level to any of those songs. To any of the songs on this list, it is a step above everything. It's just like from the intro, which is I think like 3 minutes of just instrumental, but it's so soothing, and then like the parts where the therapist is talking to him, and the really intense part near the end where he's screaming Octavarium, then it closes down, and there's another like 6 minutes or more after that, and it's still just fantastic. It's just a nice progression of going up, nice middle, and then slowly coming down for the 25-minute, like, epic. Nothing bad to say about this one. It's one of the best songs of all time. Not even just Dream Theater, it's one of the best songs of all time. But, and there's a big but, there is one which overtakes it. And some people might have this one number 1 and then number 1 as number 2, and I fully understand, because this song is a masterpiece. And if you like this song the best, I'm not going to hold it against you, because it's amazing. I love it. But my number 1, you probably guessed it. It is the second longest song they've ever done, and it is Change of Seasons. This song is just listening to this song, it melts your eyes, melts your brain, because it's so good. Not because it's boring or anything. It's just the journey through the seasons, the journey through the guy's life, and then he's like growing old, and then at the end he sits down with his son to see the crimson sunset for the last time. Come on. The lyrics, just the meaning of everything, carpe diem, seize the day, just everything in this song is a masterpiece. Everything is exactly where it needs to be. There's no better song in the entire world than this song. I think it's the best song ever made by any band ever. So it's not just my number 1 Dream Theater song of all time, it's my number 1 song of all time. And I had the privilege of seeing it live. And it one of the best concerts I've ever been to. They played Images and Words in full, which was my favourite album of all time. Well, one of my favourite albums of all time. And they played Change of Seasons. So, best concert I've ever been to. best song I've ever heard in my life. Still going to be, I mean, nothing's going to top it. I don't think anything's going to top it. It's just kind of in a league of its own. Octavarium kind of almost reaches it, but I think Change of Seasons just has more heart in it than Octavarium does. That's the only reason. Just the subject matter. The subject matter and some of the sounds I think I prefer a little bit more in Change of Seasons. That's the only reason that's higher than Octavarium. But really, they're both 10 out of 10s. So that's my list. Did you agree? Did you disagree? Comment down below and fight each other in the comments. It is fun to see people's lists of their own, because people will probably have like Count Tuscany like number 1, Illumination Theory on the list. There's loads of stuff I missed out. Lines in the Sand I missed out. In the Presence of Enemies, which is amazing. I missed out 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence, which I need to listen to properly, because I've only heard like the songs individually, out of order. I've never heard the whole thing altogether. So, I'm still going to do it. I'm just taking my time. Alright? But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the video in the comments below, and we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.